come make a Bulbasaur sugar cookie with me. We're going to get started with a lighter green royal icing base. And so I'm going to outline this cookie about 3 or 4 times to create a really solid edge for my icing to stay inside of. And I like to do this 3 or 4 times just because it creates a really solid wall. You can go around once, but I like having the wall. If you have an overflooded and overflowing cookie, it can be really frustrating. It can even not ruin, these are cookies, let's be real here. It can even affect some of your other cookies that may be drying. It just can be really frustrating. So I like to avoid it whenever possible. After I have that edge, I'm coming in with that same green, and I'm just going to start pressure piping. So I'm pushing on my piping bag to get more icing out of it instead of what I did for the outline, where I let the icing fall out of my piping bag. I'm going to pressure pipe, kind of going in a circular motion until I get to the center of the cookie. And I made a point on that first pass around to not go against that outline quite yet. I'm going to give that outline a little bit of time to set up, and I'm not going to put pressure on it yet, to stay put by getting, pressuring my icing that I'm putting in the center against that outline quite yet. We will get there. It only takes a little bit of dry time for that outline to really set up. So now, after I've filled the center of the cookie, I'm adding some extra icing onto that edge, not the outline, but right inside the outline. And I'm doing that to just make sure I have enough icing on this cookie. And then I'm going to grab my scribe and I do these little circular motions to push the icing to the outline edge and also bring it back a little bit. So it's not too much pressure on that outline, but it is getting the icing to the outline. And nothing's too dry where it will still settle, and I love to shake it a little bit to get it to settle even more. And if I feel like there's too much icing built up on that edge, I'll keep using my scribe to kind of scrape it in a little bit. But before this crusts over, if you've watched some of the other Pokemon cookie videos, you might kind of know what the next step is. Sorry, you don't, because we're going to add a dark green geometric shapes. Because if you've seen Bulbasaur has some extra shapes, extra colors on their head. And so we're doing kind of like an oval arch shape first, and that's the biggest one. And you want it centered kind of in the top third, because you got to think about where you're going to put eyes, where you're going to put the nose and the mouth. And so center top third. If you don't get it right, it's fine. This is cookies we're talking about. And you're just filling in kind of those rock shapes. Then you're going to come in and add the eye icing transfers. If you want to know how to make these, go to the full Pokemon video set. We go over how to make eyes for Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and for Charmander. And I recommend adding a little bit of icing onto the back of these eyes and then placing them on the cookie. Next, we're going to add the eyebrows, and they kind of just follow the eye shape, kind of where the center of that white dot in the eye is to the very top of those triangles. And then we're going to add in a kind of bracket-shaped mouth where it starts kind of pointing down and then makes a loop and then comes up at the end. And it can be really handy to use a paper towel or a piece of parchment paper to decorate on so that you can turn your cookie and get it in the right direction for you to be able to pipe this line, which for me, turning it is really key. I'm really not sure I could make a reasonable looking mouth straight on. And then the last bit is we add 2 little lines for the nose, and that will complete our Squirtle cookie. Not our Squirtle cookie, our Bulbasaur cookie. You can see our complete Bulbasaur cookie as part of the full beginner Pokemon set. You can find a full guide of how to decorate this down below. I hope you catch your favorite.